11, I'm taking Luther Burden, who at one point I think was potentially going to be wide receiver 1. There seems to be some character concerns, which are potentially overblown. We don't know, but certainly a lot of variance.
Explains why you want to draft him. Character concerns.
No, it's an inefficiency.
You'll bet on those guys?
I'm like the Titans.
He's whatever. Fellow degenerates. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when I started this process last summer, he was my number 1 wide receiver. Yeah. He had over 1,200 yards in 2023. He was dynamic inside and outside his first 2 years at Missouri. It's just a down year and a lot of ugly on tape where you're buying back in 2023 with the burden. That's why you're getting him here, Jay. Yeah. If he had repeated 2023, he'd be a top 4 pick in this draft.
Wow.
In this draft.
I want
a
draft.
No.
Yeah, the mock draft.
Yeah, the mock
fantasy.
Yeah, I was hoping Burden would fall to me because I knew you would screw up and take Sanders. And
hey. I'm just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm teasing.
You needed it to be a snake draft.
I needed it to be a snake draft.
Savage today.
Yeah. Anyway.
Matthew Savage.
Yeah, exactly. Sanders is gonna be fine. Especially if he's not going.
Matthew Jaquan. Hey, Wikipedia, update that back. His middle name is Jaquan.
Jaquan. That's right.
That was real Jaquan of you right there, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, just to the entire Sanders family, that was more about making fun of my friend Lawrence than it was any disrespect to the Sanders family.
Very scared.
I don't want Deion coming after me.
My goodness.
I don't need Deion coming after me.
He's going to hit you with that Bible verse. You better watch out.
Well, we saw here's what I will say. Remember when you saw, there's a whole thing going on between LeBron and Stephen A., and it starts.
This could be good for you.
No, it starts with LeBron James as a father defending his son Bronny, which you completely understand. Deion Sanders obviously is a very proud father and not shy about voicing his opinions. Like Deion is going to get into a media fight with somebody, around Shedeur. I feel like that's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, he was going back and forth with the reporters throughout the college season.
Yeah. So I think especially, by the way, if Sanders were to land in somewhere like New York, and if he lands where there's a hostile media environment, certainly I think there'll be some fireworks. But anyway, you snaked me out of Luther Burden. So I'm going to go, you know what? This is one thing that I've learned over the last couple of years on this show. One thing I've learned is that the name Matthew is a winner. That's a winning name. That's a winning name. When if you'd gone into our fantasy football league each of the last 2 years and said, I'm just picking Matthew, you would have won because I am our back-to-back champion as well. So give me Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas, fastest 40 at the combine, somebody who feels like Connor, who's really sort of risen up draft boards. He's had a very good pre-draft process here as well. And so I think the speed, I get it. He's never had a 1,000-yard season in college, I think, but he is somebody that is a true field stretcher and can make an immediate impact. I think he's going to have mid-first-round draft capital, so he's going to get opportunity. I think he's going in the first round, and so you like those wide receivers that had that first-round draft capital. That it'll depend on landing spot. Could he go to the Cowboys? Could he go to the Seahawks? You wouldn't love him at the Chargers. I could see him on the Chargers. You wouldn't love it because of their run-first nature, but Matthew Golden at 112 for me.
Okay, let's recap. Picks 7 through 12. I took Travis Hunter, 7. Then Matthew took Travion Henderson, Shedeur Sanders, alleged home pick. Next for Lawrence, then Colson Loveland, Luther Burden, the third, and Matthew Golden to round out 7 through 12. Sanders, very controversial. By the way, if LeVar Ball is watching, Matthew says that LaMelo can't play defense.
And LiAngelo can't.
By the way,
he was saying that at length before the show.
How would you handle that type of situation, like the LeBron, Stephen A. thing? What if prime time came at you? How would you handle that?
Poorly.
You'd fold.
I think poorly is the correct answer. I think
like a Jenga stack.
I think I might try to bait him into hitting me, because then I don't have to do this dumb show anymore. Then I just retire on Dion Island, and because there's a lawsuit, and he's a very wealthy man, Lawrence.
Bait him.
Yeah, I just try to bait him into sucker punching me. Hopefully there's some cameras around. And
there always is.
Yeah,
always a camera.
And I think that's how I would handle it. I think if I'm being honest here, I think poorly is the correct answer. And I think that if I got confronted the way that, this whole Stephen thing, if like Dion found me somewhere and confronted me, I would fold like a card table. I would Dion, I was misquoted.
Like an icy pole on a 100-degree day.
I would be like, I was misquoted. You saw it out of context. What are you talking about? I love you, man. Primetime, come on.
Start doing it.
Oh my God.
Come on. I would fold like a cheap chair.
He start doing all the dances and everything.
1,000%.
I got a jersey.
I might, you know what I might do?
Shows
I'm gonna
up
go
with
out.
his
I'm
shoes
gonna go
on the next show.
I'm gonna buy a
I got
Buffs.
the Dion's on.
I'm gonna buy a Buffs T-shirt and just wear it under my clothes at all times.
Good idea.
So that if this ever happens, I can just be like, no, dude, look, seriously.
I'm a supporter.
Let's go, go Buffs.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah,
come on. And and you know what I should do is a Buffs and the sunglasses, whatever the sunglass line is that he promotes, and I'll be like, no, Prime. No, look, man, come on.
Yeah.
Go Buffs.
You might have to do this.
I might have to.
All right.
I'd have to. And then I pull out my insurance card. Look, man, I'm Aflac. Look, dude, I'm Aflac. And then out of my here's I got some KFC. Dude, I'm all in. Yeah, all the sponsors.
Every sponsor he did.
Yeah. Every commercial is done, 100%.
Walk around with some of your popcorn chicken in your back pocket. Very up-rat.
I'm gonna have to. I'll have to replace the KFC on a daily basis, but I could wear the Buff shirt every day. So that's what would happen.
Let's go back on the rails. Let's go speed round here, Lawrence. Who are you taking?
Emeka Ibuka, and it was just reported that he met up and had workouts with the Packers and Cowboys. I think he would fit well with either one of those teams, especially the Cowboys. He could play that slot. He'll stay on the field longer. He's one of the better blocking receivers in this draft, so you like him there in the intermediate to short area.
All right, I'll go Jaden Higgins, another wide receiver that should be on the radar for teams like the Packers at the back of round 1 or could go round 2 here. Size, played inside and outside, great tracking. Really good Senior Bowl, super productive over the last 2 years. I'm really high on Jaden Higgins. He's my wide receiver 3 in this draft.
15, I will take Caleb Johnson, running back out of Iowa. Potential third rounder, but an epic, deep running back draft class. A lot of teams that need a running back, so not inconceivable that he could walk into a starting role.
No, not at all. He's fallen because of his 40 time, and I don't think that's a good approach. I think Caleb Johnson's a ball player. I think you kind of root for him to go to a team like the Steelers that run a lot of zone concepts. So, yeah, I think it could be a starting back right away.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what, and as you get sort of into this part of the draft, I feel like the wide receivers are a little bit more of a dart throw. There's guys that I like, but a little bit more of a dart throw, and because the running back class is so strong, I think I'd rather
starters across the board.
Starters still, and so this one's also just more of a fun one. Cam Skattebo. I'm going to take Cam Skattebo. Just a fun player to root for. I think he'll just be fun having on my team. I think he's a better pass catcher than he gets credit for. I think when you watch Skattebo highlights, everyone sees players bouncing off of him, and you see the beast mode type runs that he does. But this is a guy that had over 600 receiving yards in college. He's a better pass catcher than I think people give him credit for. And so I think if he goes to a team where there's opportunity, because he does need volume, but where there's opportunity, especially opportunity in the passing game, I think he could be really interesting and somebody that could be fantasy productive immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, Jalen Noah out of Iowa State, another slot receiver, except this guy, he could take you deep. He's got that long speed to get vertical in the seams, ran a 4.39 at the combine. So Iowa State really working with 2 good receivers here in this draft.
I'll go back to the running back well here with Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. Just speed, shifty, explosive year at Tennessee. I think he's really, really impressive in space. He got his opportunity in that offense, and he was phenomenal. So he keeps our run going of guys that I think will be starters at some point of their rookie season.
Okay, let's take a look at picks 13 through 18. Emeka Ibuka at 13, Jaden Higgins, who Connor is very high on, at 14, Caleb Johnson, as we mentioned, could be a starting running back straight out of the draft at 15, then Cam Skattebo, Matthew took, Jalen Noel, and Dylan Sampson.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.